Hello, hello. This is Dee from the Fishing Gardeners. So I'm just gonna come to you with a couple of things about like my garden beds and growing some vegetables. So I'm venturing into growing some vegetables and I'm mostly a fruit tree gardener. And this is my garden bed that me and my husband put together. And you can see it's really growing. Making sure that I have the peppers. I've been clipping off the bottom leaves because I want a very strong vine so I can overwinter those. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to overwinter them when it does get, to the point where they're not growing anymore, that I've learned from other channels. So I'm doing a lot of experimenting. So I want, nice strong vines, okay? So, of course, this is my first time with a vegetable raised bed. And I can see some of the problems that I'm already viewing as of now that I would change and will be changing. All right, and for instance, all right, so far the bed looks pretty good, except for this. I'm what you call more of a maybe better term for is a lackadaisical gardener. So I like to garden, but it not be like stressful and have to deal with a whole lot. So what I would change is I would not get any more vining tomatoes. I prefer bush tomatoes, and let me tell you why. These were very tiny if you looked at my other video, and now they have grown all over the place, as you can see, because they went wild. I did all this chopping, right? Because they were all over the place. And I probably don't know what I'm doing, but again, I am a beginning gardener. And to contain them so they're not going all over the place in this size bed, to me, is not doable. So that's something I would change and wouldn't do again. And they may get pulled out, and I put bush tomatoes in. So you have that. We got the shallots growing nicely. The other things in the bed growing nicely. And let me show you why I like the bush tomatoes. To me, the bush tomatoes is easier to grow, and I always go for cherry tomatoes. I did grow them last year with success, and this is my first time actually growing binding ones, and I already don't like it because of the constant, wiriness of them going wild, and that bed to me is not made for that. So these are my bush ones, right? So with these, I seem to always have success with these tomatoes, this type of bush. And I come out every day and I pick some, and to me they're just a lot easier for me to grow and deal with for the type of gardening style I have. Okay, so if you have time, or if you have the patience for dealing with whatever variety, just bear in mind the things you have to do as far as growing them, right? So I really would prefer, yes, the bush. This is the Everglade right here. So she's finally coming out. She's going to be contained. I'm going to put her actually in a bigger area, a garden bed like such. I got this I didn't have any intention on actually doing any raised garden beds like this right here. But basically these were gifted to me, so I'm not going to turn them down. But I will put the Everglade in something like that where it can be more contained. So I got that. And let's go ahead and take a quick look. Boy, I mean, look at this Scarlet Beauty. I mean, it's just like all over the place. And I actually called myself thinning them out. And it's like it didn't seem like I thinned anything out. But I took a whole lot off, and it's like, wow, So anyway, let's take a walk over here, because what was gifted to me is, these raised beds. Now, like I said, I really had no intention on getting any, because I already made one, but it was gifted to me, so who's going to turn down a gift, right? So yeah, so we come right over here, and this is the other one that I put underneath the my grape trellis. See that grape trellis going up? Right here. I'm going to put in here. So peppers are going to be here, right here in this one. So I don't really know the correct measurements for that. I'm not good with measurements, but you know, it's wider. We had 4, so I just had my husband combine that, and we just put it right here in this area right here. So like I said, I'm not the type of gardener that I love fruit gardening. I mean, to me, it's just easier when I go away and I come back. My trees are what they are, you know, and it doesn't require to me a lot of work. So initially to start up my garden, you know, it took a lot of work, but now I don't have to do a lot of work, right? I just sit here and, you know, watch everything grow and step in every once in a while when I see a problem. So that's the reason why I like fruit gardening. When you come to vegetable gardening, you know, you have to be more on hands. So I came back from, you know, a couple of days away, and tomatoes was like all over the place. I mean, they were just going wild. So I know that that's just not my type of gardening style, to sit here and constantly, and plus, you know, I like to research, and which I should have done. I'm thinking cherry tomatoes, it was going to be bushy, but again, I am a beginning gardener, so I didn't really pay attention, so that is my fault. But these are probably, even though they're looking nice, they're probably going to be replaced with bush ones that's more controllable for this bed, because these are really not made for this bed right here. So I can tell you that right now, they're just not made for this bed, no matter what I do to them. And I know I just trimmed them to death. All of these are going to go into my fruit trees. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up and put them all in the fruit trees, chop and drop. Yeah, so when you are gardening, you probably just want to be mindful of what you're planting, especially if your gardening style is a little different. You know, some people have time and they don't mind. And me, you know, basically I just want to come out and enjoy the garden and not do a whole lot of work. I don't mind some work, but I don't want to do a whole lot of work. I don't want, you know, I've been working on my life for a reason, and I stopped for a reason. So when I come out, I'm going to do more enjoying the garden. And, you know, I know you got to put a little bit of work in, but to me, veggie gardening is a lot more work than fruit tree gardening, because to me, once you put that fruit tree down, you know, it's going to give you fruits or not, and you just see the difference. I put them down and I go away, and they are what they are, you know. So I'm still going to continue to do some veggie gardening, but I'm going to be more mindful of what I put down. And we like cherry tomatoes and we like peppers. So you notice I really didn't expand too much out of that. And of course, I like my herbs. I didn't expand too far away from that. I just stayed there, right? Because I don't want to overwhelm myself and get carried away and start putting a whole bunch of stuff down. And then, you know, it starts just looking like a hot mess. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's a little bit I'm bringing to you today. I'll be bringing you some more videos about my gardening style, and, you know, maybe that'll help you be mindful before you start, or if you have started, whatever, that you can always still switch up. You know, it's your garden. You don't have to keep it one certain way. You can do what you want to do with it. Okay? So there's no right or wrong way to garden. You know, however you want to garden, as long as you're just growing your fruit and you're happy with it. And that's the end result. We could look at YouTube and we could see a lot of YouTubers doing different things. But at the end of the day, you have to garden for your gardening style. And there is no wrong gardening style. It's just a perfect gardening style for you. And that's what's the message I'm trying to send. Make sure you do the gardening style for you. You know, what you have time for. And this way, your garden will come out looking, you know, I'm giving you the fruits or veggies that you want. Okay? All right. So hopefully you're having a blessed day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.